gentlemen, to a new video. Your captain speaking here, everyday aviator. As most all know, the new PMDG 777-300ER has now been released after a few glitches were dealt with. I actually did buy it yesterday as soon as it came out, and never got my code for like 2 hours, and by that time I had to go to bed and blah blah blah. Here I am today, this morning, day 2 of it being out, and now I'm actually being able to fly it. I have already took one short flight in it, and just to get familiar with it, see how it responds, and just to see what all it actually does. And I am pleased to say it is pretty much fully functional. Actually, I think it's entirely functional. Sounds amazing, it looks amazing, it is insanely well modeled, down to everything. I literally spent like 10 minutes just going around the plane looking at all the details it has, down to even inside where the landing gear goes is modeled. You would never really see that anyway, but they took the time to do it. The tires look great, all the functions for the gears, hydraulics and wiring look great. Even if you look all the way up here on the front nose gear, it even has all the wording and stuff for the ground crew to read on how to do the proper procedures for working with it, whatever you want to call it. But it's very, very, very cool. Let's go up in here. We're now in the cabin, and it holds 396 people, I believe. And it is crazy. It's just crazy how big this aircraft is. I've never seen one up close in real life, only flying through the sky. But as you can see, first class is modeled in well, and you got the rest of them. But it is an awesome, awesome plane. So enough of going over what it looks like and all that. Let's get right into how to start it up. So here we are in the cockpit. As you will notice, it is familiar to the 737 to some aspect. It does have its differences. Of course, it's a different plane, naturally, even though it's a Boeing. But anyway, to get started, I didn't know you could do that. See, learned something new. I didn't know you could put the visors out. To get started, we are going to go to our overhead panel. First thing we're going to want to do is, of course, turn on the battery. Your generators should automatically be in the on position with the off illuminated because there is no power to them, or engines ain't on, so it's going to look like that. That's normal. First thing after that we are going to do is get the APU started. So your nav light should already be on, by the way. So just flip the APU switch to the start position, and if you go to your outside, you should be able to come back here to the back and hear and see the APU started, which it is. That is where the exhaust is for the APU, which is like most planes. After that, we are going to hit our ADIRU button. We're going to go ahead and turn on our window heat. We're going to leave pretty much the rest the way it is for now. Make sure your bleed air is auto, your packs are on auto, trim air is on, and the rest of these are like that. It should be already. It should not be in any different way. Make sure your auto starts on, all that good stuff. So now that the APU is fully started, you should notice the APU button here is now highlighted in auto. Make sure that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn our beacon light on and logo and wing as necessary. And you can go ahead and do your dome light, master lights, any of that as needed. I'm flying in the daytime, so I don't really need that. The rest of these are going to be showing off or fault, which is normal, so don't fret. I'm going to turn my emergency lights to armed. And for now, that is all we're going to do up here. So let's return back down here. Alright, after some time, which I just cut all this time out because it takes a minute or two, all your screens will turn on, which means you are now ready to continue figuring the aircraft and get it ready for flight. So on your FMC down here, this should be its default state. This is where you can go to do different setups, options, like your simulations, performance, the colors. You can go in here and do your failures. I have mine enabled for service base, and random is actually off. I guess that changed, even though I saved it, I thought. You can go in here and do your maintenance, any of that stuff. But you will hit your FMC button here. That gets you to your main screen here. To finish up aligning your map, simply go into your position, hit your GPS position soft key out here. It'll copy it, and then you'll hit this soft key here. And you'll notice your screen will blimp for a second, but it will now be set. Alright, to set up the FMC to get your flight programmed in, I'm going to attempt to do it through SimBrief, which I've never did before. But if anything, you would go to your route page and you would type in wherever you're at, which I'm at Orlando, and then you would go to your destination, or type in your destination and put it in wherever you're going, and I'm going to Miami. A short flight that the 777 would never do. But like I said, I'm going to try to do it through SimBrief just to save some time so I don't have to enter literally everything in. So if you go over to your EFB, this is what the state it should be. And first, you can go to like ground operations. You can add ground power requests, air start, and you can figure it out. You can see what it all does. You can replace your tires, brakes, cool the brakes. That is actually built into this aircraft. It's designed that way. Over time, your tires wear down, your brakes wear down, and you can have failures if you do not take care of them. Then next is your performance tool, which we'll get into that momentarily, and then your EFB. So I've already set my ID in here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit request in brief, and there it is. Whoa, that was trippy. Unlock. Oh, cool. Whoa, that does not scroll. Whoa, too much. Okay, very cool. Very cool. I like that. Oh, that's neat. Even shows you what altitude you should be at. It might be like this in the 737. I don't know. I've never tried it. I have the 737. I've just never tried it. Figured now's a good time. I guess that's changed the theme. Yeah, it is. I like dark. Alright, so that's cool. Alright, so now that we have that, I guess that's just a big map button. Oh wow, that's Navigraph. I don't have Navigraph. There's all your stuff from SimBrief. So now we're going to go back to Performance Tool. So we're taking off on 35 left, at least so far we are. And import from aircraft, import weather, and we're going to hit calculate. That's going to calculate everything we need. information wise. So now we can go back over here to our FMC. Alright, so we're going to go to our departure approach here and hit departure, and we're going 35 left, so we'll click 35 left. We're supposed to be using Danny 3 or D Danny 3, and then we're supposed to be using 26 left for that, and C style 2 approach is in theory what we're supposed to use. So let's activate it, and we're going to go to our performance index page here and hit that twice. Loads it in. Our reserves, I'm just going to hit 1 for now. Cruise altitude is going to be, can't remember what our cruise altitude is supposed to be. Probably 30, actually probably only around 24,000 because we're not going far. I can change that as needed. Cost index, we'll just do 100. Thrust limit, flaps is going to be 5 degrees, or yes, which is where we got from the performance tool, says it right there. And then we're going to use the rest of these numbers here to put in there. So V1 is 157. It may be a little different in there, so I'm going to override it. 159 and 164. Alright, so there we got that. Center of gravity, hit the button once, hit it again because it'll automatically do it. And we are good there now. So active leg is there. That should have automatically entered this in, but we're going to make sure this later. This is for the ILS landing. So I'm just going to go back to legs. And we are pretty much now ready to get clearance for starting. So let's go to our radio down here and let's see. Clearance is 134.7. Whoa. Okay, that tag is kind of annoying. Oops. 134.7. So let's get clearance.
Bamboo 286.
After they stop talking.
Runway 25 left. Contact ground on 121.6.
November 610 Echo Alpha. I would like to open my flight plan to Miami International.
0 Echo Alpha. Cleared to Miami via the D Danny 3 departure. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 13-3000. Expect flight level 27010 minutes after departure. Departure on 135.3. Squawk 2324.
Cleared to Miami via the D Danny 3 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 13,000. Expect flight level 27010 minutes after departure. Departure on 135.3. Squawk 2324. November 610 Echo Alpha. I'm just using my tail number and not an actual call sign because I didn't set that up, and
0 Echo Alpha, read back correct.
That's easy to go in and change if I really wanted to. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up our squawk 2324. Two, 3, 2, 4. Alright. I believe it's on. Alright, so we've got that. Departure is on 1353. We're gonna go ahead and put that one in here. 135.3. And we're going to use this one to go to ground. That way I've already got the other one saved. That way I'm not trying to mess with it while I'm trying to fly. 121.8 actually is ground for Orlando. Alright, so we've got that set. We've got our clearance. Again, I'm using same tensions, which is not fully done yet to do IFR flights, so we may have some issues along the way, but either way it'll be good. So yeah, they already gave us the Danny 3 and everything else was correct. Our arrival could change by the time we get there, which is no big deal if it does. Real quick, let's go through our legs here and just see. We got a discontinuity there. Just click on the one below it, then click above it. Another discontinuity. We've got that one fixed, and we are good. So hit execute. If it ever says vectors anywhere, just leave those. That means you're just going to get vectors to wherever the next waypoint is. Or if they tell you to go direct to wherever it is, then you just simply click on the one below it and then click on the vector button and then hit execute again, and the aircraft will start going direct to that next waypoint. Alright, so let's go to ground and get permission
American
for pushback and start.
maintain 17,000.
Am I on ground? Why in the world oh no, I'm not. I was like, why is ground telling somebody to climb? Alright, now I'm on ground.
Climb and maintain 17,000, American 132.
Orlando ground, November 610 Echo Alpha, ready for pushback and engine start.
610 Echo Alpha, Orlando ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Information whiskey is current.
Alright. Pushback and engine start approved. November 610 Echo Alpha. Alright, so let's pull up our map here real quick. I know we're going to 35 left. I can never remember. Is it this one? Please tell me it is. Oops, wrong end. Is it this one? Please tell me this is 35. Oh yeah, it's 36, so it's going to be this one over here. The one I'm nowhere near. At least it's not 35 right. Alright, so I know which runway I'm going to now. That's me. I'm going to be using the pushback app. And when I done this earlier, it actually was kind of comical because it didn't work like hardly at all. I mean, it did work, but it didn't at the same time. So I want to go this way. It was like really funky. Alright, so I've got that. I just closed out the wrong one. Alright, so let's connect the tug.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
The tug should be... Where are we at? Should be, yep, it's moving to connect.
Orlando ground, Spirit Wing 1177, holding short of runway 36 left.
Okay, sir.
Request
Pass chain is installed.
crossing.
All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment Set parking brakes.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
And we're going to go ahead and set up our altimeter
Set. Lifting the aircraft.
to 1.
Spirit Wings 1177 Heavy, cross runway 36 left approved.
3000. Alright, we are
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Orlando ground,
Clear for
Spirit Wing
start approach.
1177 is cleared of 36 left.
Clear to
Taxi
start.
on Echo.
Please release parking brake. Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo, hold short of taxiway Charlie, awaiting further instructions.
alright, just waiting for
Short of taxiway, Charlie Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo.
that to clear. So to get your parking brakes off, simply press and hold on your brakes for a moment.
Parking
And
brakes
that
are released.
is what gets your brakes off. You simply don't just press a button.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, so we are allowed to start, so I'm going to go ahead and I was like, I'm forgetting something. Come back up here to our overhead, turn our pumps on, crossfeed if you want. Oops, leave those on, turn these to auto. Those you shouldn't have to touch. And we've got these to click up for. Yeah, see what I mean by it was funky? It's like all over the place.
Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo, hold short of
let's try
taxiway
and
Delta
fix
traffic
that
on
real
final
quick.
approach. Holding short of taxiway Delta
What
Airbus
in
450
the world?
Alpha Bravo.
I don't know why. I've never had this app program do it this bad, but it is. All right, let's just tell it to hold there, even though I'm backwards from the way I want to go. That's horrible. Yes, cancel, please.
Southwest 1369 Orlando ground pushback and start approved. Expect runway 17 right for departure.
brakes
Call
set.
for taxi.
And then on your overhead panel over here is your starts. We're just going to turn it to start.
Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
And you should notice your gauges here showing that it is turning on.
Orlando ground, Southwest 1369, ready for taxi.
Cessna 908 Charlie Echo, proceed to the ramp via
One thing I
taxiway
do need to
Foxtrot,
show
monitor
real
ground
quick
on
is
121.5.
how you actually add fuel to your aircraft. Under the menu button, you have FS actions, and then you go to fuel, and then that's where you type in what you got. And for this one, I'll just put in 30, and then click your level there.
36 right, yeah, Alpha, 23788.
That's the only way to add fuel into this, these aircrafts. Alright, so that's out of the way.
Orlando ground, Sky 23788 is holding short of runway
Let's
36
start the
left
other one
at Bravo
now.
10.
Skyhawk 788 contact tower 118.45.
Gulfstream 671 Golf Sierra, hold position traffic on final approach. Holding position Gulfstream 671 Golf Sierra.
And starting, we can go ahead and turn our flight director on. You can really turn that off or on at, after the APU starts if you want to. And just definitely make sure you have it on before you get ready to take off. Alright. Double check, I'm looking at everything. You can go ahead and turn these two on. Technically those are done in the beginning. I kind of forgot about them. Alright.
What is the tower frequency?
Engines are started. We have no yellow indications
Tower is 118.45.
over here. That's a big deal. So we can turn APU off. I'm going to go ahead and turn taxi on. Strobe can go ahead and turn on. It's during the daytime and it ain't foggy or anything down here, so that's fine. Already got my altimeter set. And Just to clear up some of these, turn that to auto, turn this to auto. Anti-ice is all on. We are ready for taxis. Let's go ahead and get permission for that.
118.45.
Cessna 908, Charlie Echo, hold short of taxiway Lima traffic on final approach. Holding short of Lima, Cessna 908, Charlie Echo.
Orlando ground, November 610 Echo Alpha, ready to taxi to runway 35 left.
0 Echo Alpha, taxi to runway 35 left via Bravo 5, Charlie, Foxtrot Hotel.
Runway 35 left via Bravo 5, Charlie, Foxtrot Hotel, November 610 Echo Alpha. And they've done some work on the taxi instructions, so let's see how good they are. Alright, we are on the move. The performance for this airplane is actually pretty good too, optimization wise. I mean, I'm at a pretty heavy airport, getting like 30 FPS, and I don't have like a crazy computer either.
Skyhawk 123 WW Orlando ground taxi to runway 18 left via Charlie Bravo. Contact tower on 124.3 when ready for departure.
Alright, now that we are holding short of the runway, a couple things we're going to do now is set our flaps first off, which we need to go to 5 degrees. And turn our landing lights on and taxi light off. And let's go down to our radio and get the tower put in, which is 118.45.
Vizio Sierra Papa Victor Tango Alpha, Talon radar identified.
.45 is there.
110 Victor.
Alright, we are now on there. Rest of the system's looking good. Auto brake, we're going to turn to RTO, or for rejected takeoff.
Bamboo 286, contact.
And autopilot looks good, it's set. And let's get takeoff clearance.
Departure on 125 decimal 5. Bamboo 286, arrive to pass.
Orlando Tower, November 610 Echo Alpha, holding short runway 35 left, ready for departure.
610 Echo Alpha, Orlando Tower, winds 300 at 7, runway 35 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 35 left, cleared for takeoff, November 610 Echo Alpha. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot this has built-in checklist, and that's what that's reminding me of. So if you go over here to this panel over here, you have the checklist button, and I've technically already done all this, so you would actually go through, see what it is, click I've done it, click all this before taxi. Done all that. And then now we're at after takeoff. Alright, and we are ready for takeoff. Here we go. Full power. Right, positive rate of climb, gear up, flaps up. Alright, activate autopilot, row thrust,
0 Echo Alpha, contact departure.
and LNAV.
Calais Tower, Bonanza A1956.
Purple speed.
Bonanza 956, fly runway heading. Execute missed approach procedure. Contact approach on 118.6. Spirit Wing 177, you'll stay with me for departure.
Stand with you for departure.
My
Spirit Wing
airspeed changed.
1177.
I did not want to be that fast. Technically, I just broke the FAA's rule. I was going too fast. Can't go over 250 knots below 10,000 feet, and I sure did. I actually had it set for 220, which is really the best thing to do with when you're within 10 miles of a Class Bravo airspace, unless otherwise told to by air traffic control. So we're following the flight plan fine, so let's zoom that out some. Should be told to go to departure sometime here soon.
Spirit Wing 177, read back correct. Expect runway 17 right.
Orlando Tower, Spirit Wing 1177, destination Nashville. Fly runway heading and execute this approach and contact approach on 118.6, Bonanza 81956.
Alpha Alpha 3, Lima Charlie Orlando Tower, cleared for takeoff runway 18 left. After departure, fly runway heading, maintain VFR at or below 1500 feet. Left turn heading 090, approved beyond the departure end of the runway.
We should be told to go to departure sometime soon.
Roger, approved. At runway heading at or below 1,500 feet. What was the heading again? Alpha Alpha 3, Lima Charlie.
So I'm actually looking on my app here for Santentions, and it actually popped up that it said contact departure. I guess through all that other radio traffic, for some reason it just didn't audibly say it, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So I've already programmed it in there, so I'm just going to switch it over and contact departure. Orlando departure, November 610 Echo Alpha at 8,000 for 13,000.
610 Echo Alpha, Orlando approach, radar contact cleared, direct UKAY.
Cleared direct UKAYY 610 Echo Alpha.
33.325, Bonanza A1956.
bump my speed up
Climb
some.
and maintain flight level 230, wind 286.
I think because I'm in such a pretty heavy traffic area, I see it's actually told me to go to flight level 180 as well. I've actually never used saying tensions at Orlando. I've got like all the chatter turned on and real players, so a lot of the players or audio you're hearing is from real players, other simmers, or on the same frequency I am. Some isn't, some is. So I'm going to go ahead and climb to flight level 180. And I'm over 10,000 feet now, so I can go whatever speed I want, of course, without going beyond the limits of the aircraft itself, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and jack it up to 280 indicated for right now. And we can see the beautiful coastline of Cape Canaveral, Titusville, Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, Saddle Lake Beach. It's all out there. Beautiful day, beautiful day. Better than it was yesterday down here. It was, ooh, got a freeze here. Definitely better than it was yesterday. Definitely better. It was pretty rainy yesterday in this area. Again, we're only going to Miami, so it's a pretty short flight. The 777 can go up to, well, not up to, I don't know what it can actually go up to, but its normal cruise speed is Mach 0.84, so it can go pretty fast.
Climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230, 610 Echo Alpha.
Historic Cocoa Village Playhouse. This gem was built in 1924 and originally served as a movie house. It's one of the few remaining examples of the high-style movie palaces from that era. Today, it's a beloved community theater where locals enjoy everything from Broadway musicals to classic plays. Imagine the stories those walls could tell.
Approaches are still a work in progress. Thanks for your patience.
That was the tour guide that you just heard.
Flight level 290, wind 286.
We're almost at the assigned altitude. We're about 5,500 feet out, so we'll be there shortly. Just a couple minutes. Go ahead down here to our checklist. Go ahead and get it set on descend. Of course, we're not going to do them yet. And now that we are above 18,000 feet, we're going to go ahead and go to standard.
Climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270, 610 Echo Alpha. They're really sending me way up there just to go for a short hop. So I lied, we're not at almost our flight level, or our cruise level.
Echo Alpha. Expect the runway 30 approach into Miami via the Seattle 2 arrival. Alright, I'll have your descent instructions in about 1-3 minutes. IFR approaches are still a bit, let's say, a work in progress. Thanks for your patience.
Expect runway 30 approach into Miami via the Seattle 2 arrival. Send instructions in about 1-3 minutes. 610 Echo Alpha. Alright, now that I'm going to runway 30, which, let's see, is that what we put in? No, it is not. So let's go back to approach departure page. Let's go to Miami and hit arrival. We're going to
0 Echo Alpha, contact Miami Center on 125.075.
Miami Center on 125.075, 610 Echo Alpha. Alright, let's do that real quick because that's a little more important for the moment. Miami Center, November 610 Echo Alpha, flight level 270. Right there at it, so.
610 Echo Alpha, Miami Center, good morning.
Alright, so back to this. So we know we're going to ILS 30. Click that, and we know we're going to Seattle 2 approach still, so we'll leave that, and we'll just hit execute. That just changes it.
And
it looks like we might have either a vectors or a, yep, got another discontinuity. Fix that real quick. Alright, now we look good. And also, now that we know we're going to
American 261, contact Seattle Center on 135.45.
This is the easiest way to figure this out for if you don't have any other access to anything else. Simply go to your map, go to the airport you're going, scroll down until you get to the runways section, and you can find your runway. And it's a 111.7, so frequency, so go to your nav page, and it did already change it. If for some reason it did not, simply type it in and hit the soft key for it. What that is for establishing the localizer and approach.
Thomas,
and
at our
landing.
9 o'clock, about 6 miles out, you'll see the Vero Beach Museum of Art. Opened in 1986, it's a gem
Okay,
for
I don't
art
have
lovers
that
and
good
features
of
a
eyes.
collection of American art from the early 20th century to the present. It's also known for its beautiful sculpture garden, a perfect spot for those who enjoy a mix of nature and creativity.
Approach on 134.5, American 132.
Alright, so for now, let's just sit back and enjoy the flight.
Russell Control on 125.0, Fairline to Bravo.
Real quick, I am going to go ahead and change my airspeed because I'm on going Mach 0.7, so I'm going to change it to what I can do. We'll just go to Mach 0.8 since we're not that far.
For Papa Mike, contact Langen radar on 120.155 feet.
Langen radar 120.155, Easter 2 for Papa Mike. Langen radar, good day. Easter 2 for Papa Mike, Center with 390.
Echo Alpha Miami Center, descend via CSL2 for the visual runway 30 approach into Miami. Altimeter 299
Descend via CSL 2 for the visual runway 30 approach into Miami. November 610 Echo Alpha. He actually,
Zero Echo Alpha, descend via the Sistel 2 arrival for the visual approach to runway 30 at Miami. Altimeter 299
that's what I just said. Descend via the CSL 2 approach for the visual approach to runway 30. November 610 Echo Alpha. Alright, so that's what we'll be doing. I don't have Navigraph, so I don't really have the flip.
November 321, Charlie Zulu descend and maintain 9,000.
Don't really have
Descending
the
to 9,000,
exact
November 321, Charlie Zulu.
hang on. We actually might have it right here.
Virgin 090, London Control. Expect the ILS runway 27 right approach into Heathrow via the Sierra 1 hotel arrival. Okay, I'll have your descent in about 17 minutes. IFR approaches are still a work in progress, so hang tight.
Yeah, we can get it right here. So we're supposed to be at around 13,000 by the time we get to sea stall. We're 22 miles out. So let's go ahead and start our descent now.
Embraer 663 Tango Foxtrot with you, flight level 390.
And let's go ahead and slow up some too. And just to help that out, I'm gonna
Firefly 314.
there's a little bit of speed brakes here. Simply because I'm going way too fast. If you have Navigraph, it's very handy to have. If I flew more IFR, I would have it, but I don't fly IFR a very lot. So it's kind of a waste of money for myself.
Descend and maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer.
Especially if you fly IFR a lot into certain airports, you probably know some of these approaches by heart. I know some people do.
What you know that is right for affecting here and out there.
Echo Alpha, descend and maintain flight level 200.
Descend and maintain flight level 200. 0 Echo Alpha. Okay, so he's actually having me go to just 200 for now. I'm not gonna lie, I may was supposed to have waited for that.
Tower on 118.5.
That call. Or just asked for it. Please correct me if I should have, because like I've said before, I do not fly IFR hardly ever. And this is only like the second time I've actually ever flown using actual air traffic control. This is also an indication as to why I do not fly on VATSIM.
Generator, Austrian 521, flight level 160.
Once I do get more free time on my hands, to where I can actually learn how to fly IFR appropriately using air traffic control, I probably will. But honestly, say intentions, yes it costs money, but say intentions is actually pretty good for air traffic control since it would cover everything.
If you look at our 1 o'clock,
Ground
you'll
tower
spot
and
the
approach
Institute for
and all
Regional
that.
Conservation. Founded in 1984 by conservation biologist George Gann, this place is a haven for plant lovers and environmentalists. They focus on the protection and restoration of rare plants and ecosystems in South Florida. It's like a botanical superhero headquarters. Keep an eye out for their unique plant species from up here.
Which one can we expect? Austrian 521.
We're pretty much at our flight level. Cruising at 250 knots indicated.
Stand by Radar 1, radar for the Yankee runway 03, approaching to C5 and
Just because I'm not too comfortable with if this air traffic control is working correctly, I'm going to go ahead and request to descend down to 10,000. Miami Center 610 Echo Alpha requested to descend to flight level 10,000. I'm sure it'll let me.
0 Echo Alpha, descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. 0 Echo Alpha. Out of the couple times I have flown IFR with this, one time it done pretty good, the other time it kind of like made me dive bomb to the airport almost, and still ended up having to do a go around. But it's no big deal because it's a work in progress, as it said, and it's in beta, so I expect it to have some issues. It is no big deal.
0 Echo Alpha, contact Miami Center on 133.4.
Miami Center on 133.4. 0 Echo Alpha. Miami Center, November 610 Echo Alpha, flight level 18241
610 Echo Alpha, Miami Center, good morning.
Alright, we're below 18,000 feet. So let's turn off standard. Set our altimeter.
American 261, Salt Lake Center.
Pretty
Good
cloudy
morning.
day down here.
Echo Alpha, Miami Center, descend and maintain 6,000, turn left, heading 140 vectors for the visual runway 30 approach.
Descend, maintain 6,000, turn left heading 140 vectors for the visual approach runway 30. 0 Echo Alpha. Alright, so I did not expect that. So let's go to heading 140. And descend to 6,000. I feel like something odd is going to happen.
Bamboo 286, descend and maintain flight level 230.
And if it does seem like it's going to do something odd, I'm just going to not use say intentions for the rest of this, just because I don't want it to hinder the rest of the flight and make it weird. It's also telling me to do a visual approach.
0 Echo Alpha, descend and maintain 7,000.
Now it's telling me to go to 7,000. Descend and maintain 7,000. 0 Echo Alpha. Alright, so I'm going to kind of take control of the flight here.
0 Echo Alpha, 20 miles from the approach turn. Turn right heading 225, descend and maintain 3,000 until established. Cleared for the visual runway 30 approach.
Maybe I won't. Turn right heading 225, descend and maintain 3,000 until established. Cleared for the visual approach runway 30. 0 Echo Alpha. I guess it was just doing that for as if it was spacing. It's saying do a visual approach, but I am still going to use my ILS. Simply because I do want to make sure I demonstrate its use. And from here it also looks kind of cloudy. It might not be that bad there, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and slow up some. Getting ready to start getting prepared for landing. I'm going to clear this out. I just did that. Not quite ready for that step.
Zero Echo Alpha, contact Miami approach on 128.6.
Miami approach on 128.6. 0 Echo Alpha. 8.6.
Can you maintain 8,000 feet for the Gulf 1 warming arrival of 521?
Thomas, if you look at our 3 o'clock 8 miles out, you'll see
Sorry,
Indian
I've got to
Beach
talk,
Park.
lady.
It's a lovely...
Miami approach. November 610 Echo Alpha at 10,000 feet for 3,000 feet inbound for visual approach runway 30.
It's a great place to imagine what Miami looked like before all the high-rises.
Bravo, 9 miles from CF01. Descend and maintain 2,000. Cleared for the ILS runway 1 approach.
610 Echo Alpha, Miami approach. Good morning, Miami altimeter 29 and 9 and 7.
Alright, we just captured ILS at Glide Slope.
Runway 01. Ground American 132, request taxi to 76.
American 132, taxi to gate 76 via Yankee, cross runway 06 right, then Echo, good day.
Flaps are at full. Miami Tower, November 610 Echo Alpha. Auto brake, set it to double check.
610 Echo Alpha, Miami Tower. Winds 260 at 10, runway 30, clear to land.
Runway 30, clear to land, November 610 Echo Alpha. And what I am going to do is demonstrate its, or at least attempt to, demonstrate its full auto landing capability. I am not going to touch the controls until I tell you I am actually touching the controls.
1,000.
Airlines to Bravo, Brussels Tower. Welcome to Brussels. Contact ground on 118.055.
I am nowhere near Brussels. I'm on the other side of the planet.
400.
Whoa, it just stutters. Probably shouldn't have chosen Miami.
Miami
Tower, American 40 and 48, flight level 3000.
200.
The only thing I want to do once we hit the ground is go full reverse thrusters.
100.
It's going to do everything else. And hopefully not kill us.
30, 20.
American 1448 Miami Tower, winds 220 at Niner. Runway 8 right cleared to land.
Oh my gosh, that's
American 1448, welcome to Miami. Contact ground on 132.375. Zero Echo Alpha, welcome to Miami. Exit at Zulu if able. Contact ground on 132.375.
Alright, I'm now taking over the controls. One 132.375 for November 610 Echo Alpha. Yes, I know I disengaged it. Unfortunately, for the second time I've had this issue now with OBS. I do not know what causes it, but my audio in the actual recording gets all weird and it plays twice as fast. I do not know why that is. Some of it was playing normal and some of it wasn't, so I've just muted the clip and so yes. So all I'm doing here is getting clear of the runway and cleaning up the plane, making sure the speed brakes are going down and flaps, retract them, and I will get ready to tune the radio frequency for ground and ask for taxi instructions to go park. But because this was also messed up, well, actually not because that was messed up, but because I was having some issue with air traffic control somewhat, and the FPS wasn't the best in the world at Miami. I decided to do a second landing at a different airport using ILS, and obviously the same aircraft. So momentarily, or you can just skip to it, I go land at Raleigh-Durham International with much better demonstration of how everything should work and not using air traffic control. So yes, you can just finish watching through this. I'll talk through what I'm actually doing, but right there I'm just now doing the radio frequency and asking for taxi instructions. All I'm doing here is starting the APU, waiting for it to engage, and then I simply turn off the engines, I turn off my lights, set everything back to the way it should be, and simply turn off the APUs and then the battery. And that's how you shut down the 777 the basic way. Yes, it'll continue to play through that, and then we will jump over to a different landing. Alright, so here we are coming into Raleigh, Durham. I've already got everything set. Parking brakes, speed brakes armed, landing gears out, frequencies entered. Heading to where I can intercept the localizer. And we'll go ahead and click on the localizer button here. If I can get to it, there we go. And it has captured it. The green box is showing that. So since I have captured the localizer, I can go ahead and hit the approach button. And what that is going to do is once this magenta diamond gets down to here, it will capture the glide slope. And just like with landing at Miami, I'm going to let it do everything. I'm not going to touch it. The only thing I'll do is the reverse thrusters. Here in just a second it should capture it. There it is. It has captured it. And just continuing to let it do its thing. And there's just saying the checklist incomplete. I kind of skipped through all that.
500.
Like a pilot should never do. And it's getting ready to start doing the flare.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And it's killed the throttle. I've still not touched the controls. Alright, I am now doing reverse thrusters. Alright, I am going to take over now because it did not stay on center line. Other than that, it still did everything else landing wise. Clear the runway. I'm not going to go through shutdown procedure or any of that this time since I've already went over that. But yeah, that's a little better quality landing idea of what it should look like and how it should go. But yeah, so glad I've added that in. Hopefully that'll help it make a little more sense. But thank you for watching, and might be picking up the MD-11 sometime in the future. Not right now because I'll be having quite a bit of fun with this, but I'll probably do a video on it at some point. But as always, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave any comments that you may feel necessary for stuff you might want to see or ideas, and safe flying.